Well, for me, this is Chris Pine's first official attempt to break out of the Captain Kirk Star Trek phase. I think you did, Spock. What's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and here's my review of Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit. Now, it's actually been about over 10 years since we've actually seen Tom Clancy's famous Jack Ryan character on the big screen, his last appearance being in the film Sum of All Fears. Yeah, I know I own it. And this movie stars Chris Pine as Jack Ryan, Kevin Costner, Keira Knightley, and the director and main villain of this film, Kenneth Branagh. And it more or less serves as an origin story, simply going over how Jack Ryan got into the CIA. And it takes place beginning in 2001, and 9/11 has just happened, and he's over in London going for his PhD, and he feels obligated to join the Marine Corps in order to serve his country. And then he's in some type of helicopter accident, and he's injured, and then he's discovered by Kevin Costner's character, who works for the CIA, and after talking to him a couple times and stalking him a little bit, he decides that, you know what, you seem really smart, so, why don't you come be an analyst for the CIA, and you can monitor all these different transactions which could lead to terrorist organizations. We then jump to 10 years later, and he's still an analyst, still monitoring all these money transactions, where he notices an odd chain of transactions done by some Russian corporations over in Moscow, and when he tells his superiors, he's then sent over to Moscow in order to really find out exactly what's going on. But soon after arriving there, shit sort of hits the fan, and then he's upgraded to field status, and he now has to infiltrate this building in order to retrieve some information to really understand what this Russian businessman is up to, and how he may be somewhat involved in some terrorist organizations or a terrorist attack which could cripple America's economy and bring us back into the Great Depression Part 2. Now, what I think of Jack Ryan overall is that this isn't a great film, but it's not a bad film. It's a good film for what it's trying to do. Now, I actually have not read any of the Jack Ryan books, but I do have a friend who has, and he actually told me quite a bit about exactly what Jack Ryan what he was supposed to do, and why these type of stories kind of run the way they do. And that actually really helped me overall, with my overall thought, thinking about how I felt about this movie, because there were certainly a lot of problems that I had with it at first, but after understanding exactly how the stories are supposed to work out, it certainly helped me have a better viewpoint of what this movie was trying to do. I just felt that a lot of what makes the movie good isn't for the Jack Ryan story itself. It certainly takes a lot of elements from other better international spy movies like the James Bond franchise and the Jason Bourne franchise, and sort of incorporates them, but is unable to execute them quite as well. The only thing that I felt was truly original about Jack Ryan was his origin story, and I don't even think that that was handled very well, because I mean, this is a little pet peeve, but there's a 13-year gap from when 9/11 happens to the point where he's finally going into all this mission stuff with the CIA, and he doesn't seem to age at all, so we don't really get to see him actually change as a character. He seems like he was the same person then as he is now. I thought the performance all around were very great. I think Chris Pine is a solid Jack Ryan character. I'm not really sure if this is of the type of performance that he'll be able to join to another franchise outside of Star Trek. It was really nice to see Keira Knightley again, since I think the last film I saw her in was probably Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, and she's still beautiful as always. And it was also nice to see Kevin Costner, which apparently he's become like the new Liam Neeson these days, because I know he's going to be in a number of films this year. And he sort of just pops in and out, just kind of being the mentor. And even to see Kenneth Branagh be the character that he's supposed to be. I mean, he's not anything special. He's a bit generic at times as like a Russian business guy, but he does a good job for what he is supposed to do. If I could give any real advice for anyone who is interested in seeing this film, I would simply say keep your expectations not low, but don't expect anything out of the ordinary. If you've seen enough of these international spy movies, you know exactly how it's going to play out. You're going to be able to see certain plot twists or certain plot elements play out long before they actually happen. And the movie could have been a little bit shorter, because I think this movie does run a little bit more than 2 hours. I don't think for a predictable spy international film like this that it was really, the extra time was necessary, because there are a couple of filler moments of this film that I just felt weren't necessary. So overall, if I have to give Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit a rating, I'm going to have to give it, to be nice, I'll give it a C+. It's a decent film. You could see this in the theaters, or you could rent it out when it is released, but it's not something you're going to be thinking about a month from now. And there is some potential that they could do a sequel, but it's highly unlikely. If you like this movie review, feel free to like, comment down below, and please subscribe to check my future movie, video game reviews, and topic videos. And you can also press one of the links in the description down below to follow me on Twitter or friend me on Facebook, and I will be sure to friend you and follow you back. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I'll see you next time.